Students, in this video I will explain exercise 1.3 sixth problem, which is very important problem. Find the domain of 1 by 1 minus 2 sin x. So these kind of problems you can expect in the examination also. Students, I told what is the domain of the function f of x. What values of x that function takes as an input is known as the domain. Okay. எக்ஸ் வேல்யூஸு ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்கு என்ன நம்ம கொடுக்க முடியுமோ அது எல்லாமே பேர் வந்து டொமைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. சில எக்ஸ் வேல்யூஸ் வந்து த கிவன் ஃபங்க்ஷன் வில் நாட் ஆக்செப்ட். ஓகே, த வேல்யூ பிகம்ஸ் இன்ஃபினிட்டி. ஓகே, ஸோ இட் டிபெண்ட்ஸ் ஆன் த ஃபங்க்ஷன். ஸோ ஹியர் listen this question, f of x is equal to 1 by 1 minus 2 sin x. That means for this function what are all the x values we can give so that I can get a f of x value. For that, this f of x exists for all values of x except in which the denominator is 0. Because if the denominator is 0, something by 0, the function value becomes infinity. You cannot find the value. That means for those values of x, this function is not defined. So except for those values, for all other real values, it is possible. But you should find those values of x in which the denominator becomes 0. Then you can subtract those values of x from the real values. Okay, so this is a procedure. So first you have to find corresponding x values in which the denominator is 0. Okay, so here see here, f of x exists for all values of x except the denominator is 0. In 10th standard you studied as excluded value. Okay, so 1 minus 2x sin x 0 and 2 sin x 1, because minus 2 sin x, if you bring this side it becomes plus 2 sin x. So 2 sin x 1, then sin x is equal to 1 by 2, because 2 is in multiplication. When you come this side it becomes a division form. Now sin x is equal to this side also you bring sin value. Now 1 by 2 means what? Sin 30 degrees. 10th standard you studied. Sin 30 degrees I can write sin of pi by 6, because this pi is a new measure of degrees, radian measure. Generally pi radians means 180 degrees. So 180 degrees by 6, nothing but 30 degrees. So here sin 30 degrees I can write it as sin pi by 6. So now you compare this with this form. Sin theta is equal to sin alpha, then theta is equal to n pi plus minus 1 whole power n into alpha. That means for all the values of theta, this equation satisfies, not only for 1 by 2. Because as சுத்திட்டே இருக்கும், ஒரு சுத்துக்கு value change ஆயிட்டே இருக்கும். Then if you have to take the general solution. So general solution means if these are the form sin theta is sin alpha, then theta is equal to this formula you should remember, students, n pi plus minus 1 whole power n into alpha. Later we will get cos theta is equal to cos alpha also. That is there in example problem. Then in that case theta is equal to 2n pi plus or minus alpha. So this is there in trigonometry. Anyway you are going to study the trigonometry, all these general solutions also. But இது பார்க்கறதுக்கு எப்படி இருக்கு இதுன்னா sin theta is equal to sin alpha மாதிரி இருக்கு. அப்போ theta பதிலா நம்ம இது எடுக்கலாம். So if you compare this equation with this equation, okay, so instead of theta we are having x. So x is equal to n pi only plus minus 1 whole power into alpha. This alpha is here what? Pi by 6. This is also known as a principal solution. Principal solution. This principal solution and all we will study in the trigonometry, and also in the next year we are going to study detail the principal value of sin, cos, tan and all. But here instead of alpha if you compare, it is a pi by 6. So just to replace pi by 6. So now students we got those values of x in which the denominator is not, it becomes 0. Okay, that means the function is not defined for those values of x. Very simple, just to equate denominator to 0. Sin x means this side also you bring sin value, you should not bring cos value here, because I cannot compare this formula. Here sin means here also sin, here cos means here also cos, like that it should be there. So x is equal to, this is general formula, everybody should remember, n pi plus minus 1 whole power n into alpha. So n pi plus minus 1 whole power into alpha means pi by 6. So this is x values, but they didn't ask that x values. Okay, these x values you have to subtract, because except for these x values this function is defined. So one more step extra, you should write domain step, you should write like this. Domain is equal to capital R, that means all the real values of x, all the real values means natural number, whole number, rational, whatever it may be, except these values. That's why you have to subtract minus these x values. Okay, so n pi plus minus 1 equal pi by 6. For these x values, this is not defined. If you want to check here, for example, this is pi by 6. Okay, here 2 into sin pi by 6. Sin pi by 6 is half. 2 into 1 by 2, 2 to cancel. 1 minus 2 into half, 2 to cancel. 1 minus 1, 0. So not only for pi by 6 it is happened, for some other values also it is possible, because it is keep on rotating. Okay, it will change. Okay, students, so this formula you should remember. Sin theta is equal to sin alpha. Then the general solution is theta is equal to n pi plus minus 1 into alpha. So if you compare this with this equation, x is equal to instead of theta பதில் நமக்கு x இருக்கு, alpha பதில் pi இருக்கு, அதில் substitute பண்ணா உங்களுக்கு இது கிடைக்கும். So then what is the domain? Every real value except these x values. Okay students, so this is very very important problem. Please practice this problem. Same kind of problem is there in examples. When I teach examples, again one more time I will remind you people. Okay students, so if you like this video, please subscribe this channel. Okay, bye.